When was the last time you felt completely free to be yourself? A place where you could speak your truth without fear of judgment, where your vulnerability was met with compassion instead of critique or criticism. We all need safe spaces in our healing journey, but what exactly makes a space truly safe? Is it the people? Is it the environment? Or is it something deeper? Today on Adjusting, we're exploring what it means to find, create, and maintain genuine safe spaces. And here's something to consider: places that claim to be safe sometimes turn out to be the most damaging to our healing. So, how do we discern who deserves our trust and vulnerability? Stay with me as we unpack the real meaning of safety in our healing journey. Welcome to Adjusting. Welcome to Adjusting, a safe space for candid conversations about mental health and well-being with your host, Justin G. Nelson. Whether you're recovering from trauma, redefining your purpose, managing mental health, or simply craving more authenticity, this show is for you. I hope something resonates with you and helps you on your own personal journey. So sit back, relax, and let's start adjusting. And welcome to season 2 of Adjusting. Y'all like my intro? Y'all like, I've been doing some work. I've been doing some research and figuring out ways to make it, more meaningful, more personal, more educational, informative, all the things. Because, as a multi-hyphenate, I dabble in branding and marketing, but I'm also in the mental health space too. But I like when my worlds collide. And I'm back. I'm feeling refreshed. I have a lot of things to talk about this season. I have guests coming this season. They will be sprinkled in periodically because my schedule, like I'm right now, as of today, I'm working 4 part-time jobs. Okay. So I'm having to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to record this podcast, but we're doing this. Okay. And I'm not going anywhere. Shout out to everyone who has really given me some good feedback, who has taken the time to share this podcast with other people. I was at a concert the other day, and a friend of mine came up to me and said, "I really love your podcast. Thank you for sharing it." I almost cried. I was just, listen, like anyone who takes the time to listen to little old me talk about stuff and give me feedback or give me some type of praise, or what we call in the church my flowers, I am truly appreciative. But before I go any further, we have to get grounded because today's episode is about safe space. And I can't say that this podcast or my platform is a safe space without really setting the intentions and making sure we are all on the same wavelength. Okay. So if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Like, I need you to focus on the road. But if you're home or in the kitchen or somewhere where you can take a second to really check in with yourself and do this breathing exercise, I would greatly appreciate it. And so will your nervous system. All right. So make sure your feet are planted on the ground. Rest your heart, your shoulders, your neck, your eyebrows. Okay. Just give yourself a minute to check in with you. So on the count of 3, we're going to take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, and let it out. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, and out. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right. So still don't have any sponsors yet, but I think some things are coming. I'm manifesting the things. A couple of days ago, I got a reading done. I haven't had a reading done in almost 6 months, and was talking to my best friend, and she got one, and I was just like, okay, God, I hear you. So let me check in. And I found someone who I follow on TikTok, and every time she's posted a video, I've been like, man, I want to connect with her because she just gets it. She's raw, honest, and I felt led to do a reading with her. And the 3 things she pulled, and I'll see if I can insert the picture of the cards. But the first card was your beacon. And every time I've had a reading, since I've been doing readings for at least 5 years, I always got shine your light, shine your light. And I felt like this podcast is a part of me shining my light. It's one of the many watts that make me who I am as a child of God and someone who is really active in their faith journey and healing journey. And Oprah talks about shining your light a lot. She talked about it the other day when she went to see Gypsy and how Audrey McDonald really let her light shine in that character. The second card that she pulled was take the leap. Listen, we all know how it feels to want to take the leap into content creation or your fitness journey or loving yourself more or a new job. But fear, baby, fear turns into this anchor and you like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But the card said take the leap. So whatever that means, if it was launching season 2 or anything else I'm working on, I am taking the leap. The third card was, I think it was Love Yourself More. I think I'll find it and post it. But whatever the third card was, the 3 cards really helped me get back to my core and remind myself of why I do the things I do. That has nothing to do with this episode. I just wanted to catch you up on my life. So before we jump into this episode, there are some changes I've made. So you saw the intro video. I really want to make sure you know what we're getting ourselves into for the episode. If there are triggers in the episode, that would definitely be in the intro because I've been reading a lot of books lately, and a lot of people who read like romance books or fiction books, they put a trigger warning at the beginning of the book so that the readers or the listeners know there might be some things mentioned in the book or this episode that may cause some things to come up. On my website for adjusting, I put that this podcast is not a replacement for therapy. I am not a licensed therapist, but if you or someone you know is feeling suicidal symptoms or showing signs of suicidal ideation, there's a link on my website. There's a number on my website. Make sure you reach out to someone. But the major changes that I've made to each episode is just adding more structure and adding sections. So I've been reading the Bible in a year with the Bible department, and we are just starting Genesis. And something that Dr. Manny does in his podcast, he has context clues, he has nerdy nuggets, and he has a timeless truth. And I really love that because it helps me to anchor myself throughout the reading. So, for instance, with Genesis, he was telling us like a timeless truth is that there was a symbolism of beast in the field when it came to Cain and Abel and other stories in the Bible, beast in the field, beast in the field. It's just repetitive. I was just like, I would never forget that. And probably you won't either. But for the sake of adjusting, we have 3 sections. We're addressing the issue, whatever the topic is, we're adjusting and finding those adjustments that we can make, and then we will apply them. So addressing, adjusting, and applying. Those are the 3 sections here moving forward. Okay, you got that? So if you're taking notes or if you want to just have some anchors and check-in marks, those are the things. All right, so for today's episode, we are talking about adjustments in your safe space. That's become a new buzzword. A lot of people are using it to truly be a safe space, but some people using it as a manipulation tactic to get to know you a little better and then have something to use against you. And I don't like that. Like, you should manipulate anyone in your safe space for the sake of having something to use against them later in life. Like, no, we ain't doing it. Like, times are hard. Okay, times are harder than hard. It is concrete at this point, and you do yourself a disjustice by lying about being a safe space for the sake of trying to win someone over or manipulating someone. So let's jump into this episode. First off, addressing your safe space. Before we talk about what a safe space is, let's talk about the difference between a comfort space and a safe space. Now, a lot of people don't talk about comfort spaces because that's kind of like your regular, degular things. Um, to me, a comfort space is a space where you literally have to code switch and you don't share too much information because you know somebody is listening. Somebody's the ops. Okay. Somebody is listening in to report back to someone else, but you have to code switch in that space in order to just make it through the day or the conversation. By definition, comfort spaces make you feel at ease, but may discourage growth or authentic expression. Places where you maintain a facade to keep peace. Work is a great comfort space. Okay, like you want to be a team and be a family, but baby, some of the people are best friends with HR, and I ain't got time for you to try to build a case against me. And then what I told you in trust and secret has come a document. No, we're not doing that. But then safe spaces allow vulnerability, authentic expression, and healthy challenges while maintaining respect and confidentiality. Those are rare. Those are very rare because what got me at the early on in my childhood is this concept, and I don't agree with it, and maybe y'all do. But if I tell you something and you tell your partner or your wife or your husband and say, well, they're not going to tell about it, how they know? I don't remember telling them. I don't remember putting us in a group chat or a FaceTime call and saying, hey, y'all, this is what happened. I told you in confidence. I don't give a, listen, excuse my language, but I don't give a damn what your vows say. Okay? If I tell you, I'm telling you, F the ring on your finger. So that to me, I don't like that. I don't like that. Even people that have a best friend are just like, there's like a meme that just say, you can tell me, but if you tell me my best friend's going to know too, I don't like that. Because I told you in confidence. So that safety that we have is gone. I don't like that. Another thing, comfortable spaces prioritize avoiding discomfort. Safe spaces prioritize authentic growth, even through discomfort. So if someone's holding you accountable in your safe space, 9 times out of 10, they're doing it from a place of love. They're doing it because either you have said this thing over and over again. And I know some people get stressed. I'm guilty of it. When a friend is like, I'm going to change, I'm going to do better, I'm going to start saving money, I'm going to go to the gym. But then 6 months later, they still saying the same thing. But they know that you are being very patient with them, but you give them that tough love. You're like, you know what? I'm really tired of you making these blanket statements with no follow through. I love you. I really do. But I really want better for you. That's true love, and that's a safe space. Other people just like, no, you got this, man. Keep grinding, keep pushing. Those are just words. I need a little more oomph. I need a little more accountability. I don't need the comfort space. I need the safe space. Another thing with safe spaces, and this is something that we can fight about in the comments or whatever, is the aspect of church being a safe space. I really hate that this new age church, and I can only speak from experience. Me being 35, I have never seen church as a safe space. I've seen the altar and my communication with God as a safe space where I can go and leave it there. But when it comes to like prayer and people offering up like testimonies and people start judging. And I'm just like, damn, like church people judge so much. And there's a song that says, sweep around your own front door before you sweep around mine. Leave my door alone. I am fine with whatever leaf is out there, whatever twig, whatever dirt. I will get to it when I get to it. And if it's bothering you, mind your business. I just want churches to go back to that true level of safety. Now, the church in itself, and this can be another episode, but the church in itself has always served an important and monumental factor in the Black community. Always. I will never take that from it. It's the people in the church that have really tarnished the spiritual aspect of what the church stands for. How do we fix that? We're not talking about that in this episode, okay? We'll figure it out another day. But I just want you to know there are some people in the church who genuinely care and want to be a safe space. Use discernment. Okay, moving on. Common misconceptions about safe spaces. Number one, safe doesn't mean perfect. At the end of the day, everyone is dealing with something. At the end of the day, we are all still humans. I strongly believe in a safe space, you have to have grace. Because some days when you need to trauma dump or just word vomit, I might not be willing to listen. I might be going through my own stuff. Which leads me to something I posted on Facebook. Because you are a safe space for someone else doesn't mean that they are a safe space for you. That is really hard to deal with. And it's something that I learned the hard way as well. And a friend of mine the other day was just like, it sucks to pour and pour and pour into other people and make all this space. But then once the bucket is full, what do you have left? You can't pour from an empty cup. You need a space where you can feel replenished too. So while you're out there figuring it out, keep that in mind. Number two, safety doesn't mean you'll never feel challenged. If we are friends in a safe space, and I know at the end of the day, you are not operating in your maximum gift or your maximum capacity as a creative or a child of God, I'm gonna challenge you. It's gonna be some tough love, but I love you. At the end of the day, I still love you and I want what's best for you. Number three, now this is where I want you to really take notes. The difference between safety and enabling. Grandparents enable. Anyway, safety supports growth. Pull out my notes. Truth safety creates space for honest feedback and accountability that helps you evolve. Enabling prevents consequences. Enabling protects someone from the natural outcomes of their actions, stunting growth and responsibility. I think we also call that coddling someone. A lot of people who are people pleasers or like to parentify their friendships are enablers. A lot of people, man, I hate using the church as an example, but a lot of people in some ministry positions can be enablers due to their unresolved trauma or where they are in their healing journey. And then there's the aspect of the comfort trap, which is how well-intentioned protection from difficult emotions or truth can actually prevent healing and personal development. So, in summary, meet people where they are and give space for them to grow, but you can't do the growth for them. It's just like saying, I'm going to the gym, but you're going to get the results. That's not how it works. Or I'm going to eat this salad. You can have Chipotle, but we both going to lose weight. No, that's not how, you have to do it together in some aspect. They have to want to do the work for themselves to see the results. That's it. Last part of this addressing section is recognizing unsafe spaces disguised as safe ones. So this kind of goes back to just because you're a safe space for someone doesn't mean there is a safe space for you. Here are some red flags. Red flags for unsafe spaces. Gossip, conditional acceptance, and shame tactics. Okay? Information control, when certain topics are forbidden or dismissed or questions are discouraged. A lot of people do that. And sometimes they don't want to be bothered. Sometimes they don't know how to respond. And other times, and this has happened to me in a few friendships. I've brought up a topic, it was dismissed, deflected, or they just became busy all of a sudden. And I learned in that moment, they didn't have the capacity for me to talk about the things I needed to talk about. I couldn't judge them because at the end of the day, I realized they didn't know and they didn't care. I ain't gonna lie. They did not care. They wanted to share what they needed to share. When I tried to open up, they moved on. And I did too. Okay. And then moving goalposts is another red flag. Moving goalposts, when requirements for acceptance or belonging consistently shift, leaving you feeling like you can never quite measure up. Hey, like that's it. How are y'all feeling? I hope you're feeling good because that right there is something that a lot of people face without even knowing it. And that's why I like terms and that's why I like English. Like there's a word for everything. And sometimes people just need to be able to label it and be like, okay, this is what it is. This is how I feel when this happens. And that's the beauty of therapy. Like, I know some people get tired of all these buzzwords, but it just helps you process things better. So again, moving goalpost. When requirements for acceptance or belonging constantly shift, leaving you feeling like you can never quite measure up. Friend groups. A lot of people, like when it comes to group trips, y'all got to do this, 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 and this. And it's just like, okay. And then 2 months later, oh, also you need to do this, this, and this. Huh? Like, if you don't want me to go, just say that. I don't want to go. I can save my money on something else. So just be on the lookout for the red flag of moving goalposts. And lastly, the nervous system. I found out about this whole concept of the nervous system in therapy and from a TikTok video. And in my notes, I have the nervous system as your guide. What does your body tell you? What does your body tell you when it comes to your safe space? Like, what signals do you get? What emotions come up? Do you side eye the situation and be like, I ain't feeling this no more. Some just don't feel right. So this is a term, and this is real technical. Okay, it's called the polyvagal theory. Polyvagal theory is how our autonomic nervous system (ANS) detects safety and threat through neuroception before conscious awareness. So remember in season 1, I talked about the fight, flight, fawn, and freeze, the 4 F's of trauma. Yeah, this is where that comes in. Your polyvagal system or the polyvagal part of your body will put you in a state of fight or flight to where you're just like, I'm a code switch just so I can get through this, or I'm gonna lie and say I'm not available, or I'm gonna do the Irish exit and just leave. Like your body will respond the way it needs to in order to protect yourself. Physical signs of safety: relaxed breathing, loosened muscles, improved digestion, and ability to present rather than hypervigilant. Though that's when you know you're in a safe space where you can just relax your nervous system. You can relax your shoulders. You can breathe freely. Your mind is a little more at ease and you're not feeling like, am I saying the wrong thing? Am I saying the right thing? Are they judging me? Like you're not overthinking while trying to have a conversation. And here are some danger responses. Recognizing when your body shifts into fight, like I said, fight, this irritability and tension, flight, restlessness, avoidance, freeze, disconnection, numbness, or fawn, people-pleasing, loss of boundaries, and these pop up in certain environments. So trust your nervous system. At the end of the day, It will protect you. That's what it's there for. All right. So we're going to move on to part 2, which is adjusting to your safe space. We talk a lot in season 1 about boundaries. And baby, listen, I have gotten much better with setting boundaries. I don't care who it is. Okay, clients, family, workplace, wherever it is, I will set a boundary for the sake of protecting my peace. So, boundary work necessary for finding and maintaining safe spaces, setting clear expectations with others. If you are a safe space and you know in that moment you do not have the capacity to give them the attention they are looking for, please say that. Because if I'm coming to you as a safe space and I'm pouring my heart out and you ain't listening, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, I more than likely I will just hang up the phone and you be like, well, what are you hanging up for? You weren't listening. You were not listening. Communicating your needs effectively. Now, this is you in the safe space. Use I statements. Frame needs as I feel or I need rather than you always or you never. Okay, don't do that. Just that helps to reduce defensiveness. Be specific and concrete instead of vague requests. I need more support. Offer clear, actionable needs. Like, I need like 10 minutes to talk. Or as my friend and I would say, do you have the capacity to listen to me right now? Or can I get 2 minutes? Just 2 minutes. It don't always be 2 minutes, but I'm gonna start with 2 minutes. And if you offer more time, I'm gonna take it. And then lastly, name the impact. Connect your need to its importance. When I can share without interruption, my nervous system can relax enough to process. So, like, before you go into this space, make a little note. Like, these are the real things that are on my mind that I really want to get out. If, in fact, you truly don't feel you have a safe space, journaling is your next best option. Write it down. It's between you and the paper. You can burn it. You can shred it. You can flush it down the toilet, whatever you need to do. But if in that moment you feel that there is no one you can talk to other than Jesus, write it down, tear it up. You've gotten it out your system. Your nervous system can regulate and go back to ease. Creating your own internal safe space first. Now, this is a lot with morning routines or nightly routines. So, cleaning your apartment, cleaning your home. Oftentimes they say how your home or living space looks is a reflection of how you feel on the inside. I've made it a mission to go to bed every night with a clean apartment, whether it's just hanging up a coat, washing a dish, sweeping, or something. I always go to sleep with a clean apartment because I feel like my body is going back to a place of ease and comfort and rest, and I'm gonna wake up feeling refreshed. You can do mindful self-talk. You can place your hand on your chest and your stomach and just say, I am okay. Everything is working out for my good. I will be all right. Just talk talk yourself through it. You can do compassionate letter writing. So also it goes back with journaling. There are various different types. And I think I'm going to try to get someone on here to talk about like adjustments in your journal prompts or something like that. Because I don't want people to feel like there is only one way to journal. Because for the longest, before I started journaling, I thought it was only one way. But you can write yourself a letter, say, dear whatever, write how you feel, apologize for anything you've done, make a declaration that you're going to do this, and this. We're going to do this together. You can also write a letter to your inner child, letting them know, I know last night was rough or it's been hard and I've neglected you, but we're going to do better. I'm going to take us out for lunch, or we're going to go see a movie together. Just really connect to your inner self. And then lastly is self-forgiveness practice. Again, placing a hand on your heart and just tuning in to the heartbeat and taking those deep breaths in and say to yourself, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. everyone is going through something. Everyone is learning and unlearning things. A lot of people have operated in a space of survival for so long to where when joy and peace are trying to make room or trying to come inside, we fight it away. And it kind of goes back to Inside Out too. If y'all haven't watched it by now, what are y'all waiting on? But when anxiety was taking over and joy was trying to help anxiety calm down, it's kind of like what it is. And something else that came up in my oracle reading, um, she said, I feel like you have walls built up. And the walls you've built are not only protecting you, but they're blocking other things that want to come in. So we have to get to a place where we can let down the walls so that we can experience good. Um, Walls are meant to protect us, but they can block us from receiving the love we deserve, the money we deserve, the peace we deserve, the joy, the happiness, the freedom. So take some time. Take some time to really say, hey, are these walls serving me or hindering me? And what and how can I bring these walls down in a safe space in order for me to grow? Oh, love it. Building trust with yourself before others. Put yourself first, okay? Trust yourself enough to know that even if this person doesn't have space for me to talk, I will be all right. I just needed to process it with somebody else. But at the end of the day, I know what's best for me. Creating rituals that signal safety to your nervous system. So, meditation, journaling, lighting a candle, going for a walk, breathing, like taking a deep breath. I don't think we realize how often we don't take deep breaths. Like we'll breathe like a, standard breathing, but a deep breath can really do wonders. And lastly, adjusting your expectations, understanding that different people can be safe in different ways. There is a myth that one person has to be that one thing for all things. Or that one person has to be that person for all things. No, that is not fair to them or you. Okay? Because when they're not available and you need them, you can be mad at them. And they're just like, listen, I got a life too. I got things to do. So they call this the all-purpose safe person. But there are some things that go with that. So it's specialization versus universality. How different people provide different types of safety, emotional support, practical advice, spiritual guidance. Okay. So what you can talk to your pastor about, you might not talk to your best friend about, and vice versa. For me, when it comes to topics about like tantric yoga or sex and things like that, I talked to my tantric yoga teacher. Like we're besties, and I can talk to him about everything. When it comes to finances or health and things, I talk to my mama, okay? And I'm like, Norma, I need your help with this. I need to know this, and this. I'm not going to talk about everything else. We just don't talk about those things. And there are certain friends where I can talk to about performance and auditions and musical theater. And I have other friends who don't give a damn, but they're happy for me, but they don't know. If I could say I did a 16-bar cut, they're just like, so you have to cut the bar 16 times? I ain't got time to explain this. You mean well, and I ain't got it. But you just have to know, like, certain people can serve a purpose for certain things. And that was something I even learned in my relationship when I was dating, that my partner couldn't be everything I needed them to be. But I thought in my head, like, you're my partner. You're supposed to. No, that's not fair to them. It is not fair to them. Another thing is the danger of over-reliance. Why expecting one person to fulfill all your safety needs creates unhealthy dependency and inevitably disappointment. You can have more than one safe space in a person, okay? Give them a break. Trust me, give them a break. And don't be mad if you find out that they didn't tell you certain things. consider yourself blessed, okay? Because they, in their head, you can't handle everything they need to talk about. I have a friend who doesn't talk to me about everything, but they talk to somebody else about everything. And I'm just like, why they didn't tell me about this? And I'm just like, well, maybe they didn't need to talk to me about this. And they'll eventually share it with me. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So whatever. And lastly, complementary safe spaces. How creating a network of different safe people, safe spaces provides more resilient support and models healthy interdependence. So that's a lot of adjustment tools that you can have when it comes to cultivating your safe space. So how do we now apply these things in your safe space? Here are 5 ways to ensure you're in a true safe space. Number 1, trust your body's signals. So remember the polyvagal theory, the concepts of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, those things. You can go back and listen to that. I'm also put this in my notes and on the website. Test boundaries gradually. Do not meet someone and tell them everything about you. I would run away if I was that person. Test them boundaries. Give it some time. Give it 6 weeks and then another 6 weeks and see where that goes. Number 3, observe how they handle others' vulnerability. Number 4, notice if your authentic self is celebrated. When someone is opening up to you as their safe space and they genuinely listen and give you praise for the growth you're doing or even the growth you're attempting to do, that's beautiful. And that is a person who truly values you and is a safe space. And number 5, pay attention to confidentiality and respect. At the end of the day, if somebody comes to you with an issue, put that issue on the shelf and treat it like it was gold, okay? Because they really trust you. And then here are 5 ways to be a safe space for others. Practice active listening without judgment. Honor confidentiality religiously. Respect others' pace of sharing. Acknowledge your limitations and create clear boundaries around what you can and cannot hold, which goes back to if someone is showing signs of suicidal ideation, there's only so much you can keep to yourself. The crucial reminder, being someone's safe space doesn't automatically make them yours. I cannot stress that enough. Okay? Say that one more time. Being someone's safe space doesn't automatically make them yours. There's the concept of reciprocity, why one safe space can become depleting for the other person and you, and permission to have different safe people for different needs. Sometimes you have to compartmentalize your needs based off their experience, the space they have, whether the mental space, emotional space, psychological space, spiritual space, and you will know that as time goes on. So, we have talked about a lot in this episode, and I truly hope that you took something from this episode that will help you reevaluate who and what you consider a safe space. Until next time, bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you take something away to help you make the adjustments you need. Before you go, please take a quick second to share this with someone you care about. And if you can, please leave a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you're listening to this on. For more information about adjusting or to inquire about being a guest, head over to adjustingpod.com. Until next time.